Hi, how you doing? I trust you're well. I trust you're doing good in this time, especially now that this whole lockdown situation is being eased little by little. But I just wanted to share a few words with you. So I think it was Saturday. I had a live session with one of the organizations that I partner with, Life Creations, and we were speaking about identity, and it was really great to speak to and partner with great people, and I really love what they are doing as well, and it's really really amazing. They are helping young people to be giants, and I am fully in support of that. And I think because there were some questions in light of how does an unbeliever find out their identity. So I came of the opinion that for you to be able to find out your identity, you need to return back to your source, and I still stand by that. But I do understand some of the confusion as to how an unbeliever can discover their own identity, and to help answer that question, is to talk about the fact that the human beings, there are three parts to a human being. The human being is a tripartite being, and that means that it's made up of three different parts. So you have the body, the soul, and the spirit. Now the body is our anything that is outward. So your looks, your features, your height, whether you're tall or you're short, your skin color, your race. All these things are the identification of a body. So you can identify yourself by your body, your body type, for example, your eye color, whether your hair is long or short, the color of your hair, and so on and so forth. So that's a way of identifying yourself. Another way you can identify yourself is through your soul. So your intellect, your personality, your character, your education, your training. Are you a doctor? Are you a lawyer? Are you a nurse? Are you a consultant? Whatever, some of the things that you have been trained as, your emotions as well, how you feel. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? And so on and so forth. So that is your soul. Now, your spirit is the one that is formed and fashioned in the likeness of God. When the Bible says that and God created man or made man in his image and likeness, that is talking about the human spirit. It's the human spirit that is connected to God. It is the human spirit that hears from God. It is the human spirit that actually gives life to the human being. So the human life itself is the human spirit. So when you're looking at it like that, when people are talking about, oh, they define themselves by their race or the family of their orientation, so that's your body, okay? We're talking about people defining themselves by even their culture or what they've studied, or their profession, for example, that is their soul. But if you want to know your true self, you have to define yourself by your spirit. So, whilst you can identify yourself by your body, you can identify yourself by your soul, and that's all fine. And to be honest with you, as an unbeliever, that is what you'll be able to identify yourself as your body or your soul. And to be honest with you, if you study what's going on in the world today, you will discover that that is where a lot of issues are coming out from, especially with the whole racial discrimination going all over the world, especially in the United States, given George Floyd's death as well. That shows that we human beings, it's kind of a consequence of us defining ourselves by our body. We are white, we are black, and as a result of that, we are treating each other differently. You understand what I mean? Someone is saying Black Lives Matter, another one is saying All Lives Matter. I don't want to get too much into that. But by the time we stop defining ourselves by our body and start defining ourselves by our spirit, we would actually discover that there is no difference between us. We will begin to live beyond our race. Same thing with our soul. When we stop defining ourselves by what we have learned or what we have not learned, we'll begin to value the life of others. There will be no classism When we define ourselves by our body or our soul, that is where classism and discrimination comes into play. We begin to look down on others because of what we learned, or because of the education that we have, or because of our personality or our character. But when we rise above that and start defining ourselves by our spirit, then we will discover that there is more to life than what we physically see around us. That is why, for me to define myself, how I would define my own identity is, I am a spirit who has a soul and lives in a body. For the unbeliever to truly know themselves, they need to first of all reconnect with God. That is your spirit man is your true self. But until then, you would only be able to identify yourself by your body or by your soul. I hope this helps. God bless you.